Hello, and welcome to my portfolio presentation. My name is Ryne Little, and I was born on October 6, 1997, and I am currently 23 years old. The purpose of this portfolio presentation is twofold. The first purpose is to act as proof that I've met and mastered the program outcomes of the Technical Communication degree at Arizona State University. The program outcomes are rhetorical knowledge, critical thinking, analysis and research, practices and processes, and technology. The second purpose of this portfolio is to act as a living document to display my professional abilities with examples of my previous work. With these two goals in mind, I'm going to go through the examples of my work and show how they display my abilities and how I have mastered and met the program outcomes of the Technical Communication degree. On this front page here in the home page is a little bit more about each of the program outcomes that you can read through, as well as the site tour that will be uploaded after this is finished. Underneath that is a little bit about me, as well as a picture of our engagement when I proposed to my now wife. Starting with proposals. Proposals are an important document to master for a technical communication student and professional. The mastery of proposals displays an understanding of many of the program outcomes of the TWC program. The first proposal in my portfolio is a group proposal for a real client called the BC Centre for Ability based out of Canada. This proposal shows mastery of the rhetorical knowledge outcome through proper understanding of audience needs and a proposal structure of headings, subheadings, charts, and organization. These show mastery of rhetorical knowledge. The BC Centre for Ability proposal also displays a mastery of critical thinking, analysis, and research outcomes through the proper execution of an annotated bibliography on pages 14 and 15 of the document. The outcomes of practices and processes and technology were also met by this assignment through the group nature of the assignment. There were multiple drafts that were forwarded back and forth and revised through Google Docs with other online sources like Dropbox. The next proposal that displays a mastery of course outcomes is the proposal for the job training grant offered by the Western Foundation, written on behalf of the fictitious TechCon consultants. This proposal shows mastery of rhetorical knowledge outcomes through adherence to both the conventions of proposal as well as professional business letter. The correct introduction, conclusion, signature block, headings, subheadings, and tables demonstrate an expert understanding of rhetorical knowledge. The critical thinking, analysis, and research outcomes were displayed through utilizing the relationship between knowledge, language, and power in the budget breakdown as a persuasive tool. The mastery of the practices and processes outcome was displayed by proper utilization of visuals, such as tables for persuasive purposes, as well as the document undergoing multiple drafts and revisions. The third and final proposal that displays a mastery of program outcomes is a proposal for the Children's Storybook Garden and Museum. This proposal demonstrates rhetorical knowledge outcomes through understanding the constraints of the proposal rules, the audience, on length and writing to meet them. These rules were 3 pages excluding tables and references. It also took understanding the persuasive genre and writing to meet it. Mastery of critical thinking, analysis, and research outcome was achieved through understanding the necessity of supporting materials and including a scope of the work form in the index, references, and use of statistics. Practices and processes outcomes were displayed through the integration of visuals and the revision process to achieve a cohesive and strongly persuasive argument. Writing and editing are both important aspects of the technical communication program and profession. Understanding and mastery of writing and editing conventions for multiple genres are paramount to the success of a technical communication professional. These examples display my understanding and expertise in both technical writing and editing. The Data Security Plan was a document I was contracted to provide pro bono comprehensive editing for the Linda J. Hamilton CPA Accounting Corporation. The document came to me as a simple Word file with no formatting or organization. Through utilizing technical editing, I was able to transform the document into a live, legal, and internal document. Mastery of rhetorical knowledge is displayed through the document by utilizing proper heading and subheadings, document-wide organization, and proper alignment conventions for the genre. Understanding and expertise, practices, and processes is displayed by applying professional level substantive and copy editing. Also, understanding the legal necessity of the document in the event of a data breach, and carefully editing to ensure clarity of rules and communication of information. The next item is a research paper that I wrote on the lack of connection between violence and video games, as well as the budding research of video games as a successful mental health therapy. I displayed a mastery of rhetorical knowledge through an understanding of the genre of the paper and writing to fit the audience's needs. Using the proper conventions for a research paper, including statistical evidence, charts, and proper headings, also displays rhetorical knowledge. The critical thinking analysis and research program outcomes was met through providing extensive citations in the reference list. The in-text citations on pages 1 through 4 are in good form and support the argument. Thorough understanding and excellence of the practices and processes outcome is displayed by discussing cultural conventions of video games and the impact they have. Legal and ethical outlines are followed with citations. The last writing and editing item that displays a mastery of program outcomes is editing on an article that about the effects of youth baseball on children. Understanding of rhetorical knowledge outcomes are displayed through understanding the needs of the audience, editing the document with user-centered design when formatting headings, pictures, charts, and visuals. Critical thinking, analysis, and research outcome mastery is displayed through understanding the way that knowledge is produced, managed, organized, and disseminated, and editing to meet those needs. The program outcomes for practices and processes were achieved through providing revisions and editing to a document that needed organization and editing. And lastly, the program outcomes or technology were displayed by being formatted not only to be read in hard copy format, but also to be displayed without an issue on a desktop or mobile web page. The realm of technology and the internet is constantly changing and evolving. It is important for a technical communication professional to not only keep up with it, but also possess an understanding of industry-leading software and programs. Writing, editing, and designing for websites are a major part of technical communication, as well as a working understanding of these concepts are important as well. The first technology and web item that displays mastery of program outcomes is the Rate XP brochure I designed for the company NoQuest. This was selected as the number 3 design out of the many that were submitted. The Rate XP brochure shows a mastery of rhetorical knowledge by understanding the needs of the client and audience, designing the brochure to communicate the tone of the business to the intended audience of restaurants, and focusing on user-centered design and usability. Excellence in critical thinking, analysis, and research is displayed through understanding the approach of disseminating information through a brochure. Theoretical knowledge of design was used to draw readers' attention with lines and flowing designs. Practices and process outcomes are displayed by using Creative Commons licensed photography in the brochure. The mixture of writing and pictures communicate verbally and visually. And lastly, technology outcomes were met by expertly utilizing Adobe Illustrator to develop the brochure, as well as using Dropbox to transmit it to the client. The next item on the list is a logo I designed for a company called Hybrid Space Architecture, as they attempted to rebrand their company in preparation for a large government contract. Mastery of rhetorical knowledge outcomes was shown through the understanding of the genre of the logo, business, and market, and designing to meet the audience expectations and needs. Practices and process outcomes excellence is displayed through undergoing several drafts and revisions, as well as understanding the difficulties in adapting to solely communicating visually. And lastly, the technology outcome mastery is displayed through being designed in Adobe Illustrator as a vector image file that can be shrunk or expanded without losing quality of design, and can be used digitally or in hard copies such as business cards or letterheads. The third item that displays a mastery of program outcomes is an analysis of the website for the company Poppin' Joe's Gourmet Kettle Corn. I displayed my understanding and expertise of rhetorical knowledge through the understanding of audience and their needs, and delivering a thorough analysis focused on user-centered design and analyzing the entire website for it. Critical thinking, analysis, and research outcomes were shown by utilizing theoretical approaches to design and applying them to website analysis on pages 2 and 3 with personas and color scheme suggestions. Practices and process program outcome mastery is displayed through the analysis by using visuals to support the information in the analysis, as well as demonstrating the collaborative nature of design in the conclusion by offering suggestions of changes for consideration. Lastly, mastery of technology program outcomes is displayed by understanding the critical nature of the Internet, its users, and its context in the creation of personas and layout suggestions, as well as demonstrating a range of technologies for writing and editing by utilizing a web page as the backdrop. The next item to show mastery of program outcomes is the creation of a persona. This is a common process in many different areas of technical communication, but this was done in an effort to create a realistic persona who would create a website. I displayed my understanding of rhetorical knowledge by understanding the audience. Creating a persona is a way to deepen one's understanding of the audience. It aids in user-centered design, and the persona was made to do this. The persona shows an understanding of audience needs and experiences. Critical thinking, analysis, and research outcomes are displayed through research and interviews with teenagers in my area. I interviewed 15 different teenagers who met the same demographic as the persona to create a realistic and believable person. Practices and processes outcome mastery is shown by adhering to the persona badge format, only including the necessary information but extrapolating the wealth of information I learned through my interviews to create succinct but definitive descriptors with personalities such as descriptions of Holden's family. For mastery of the technology outcome, I met this by understanding what technologies current teenagers are using, and that helped build this persona. I also utilized PowerPoint to create the persona instead of Word because the formatting capabilities it allowed me. The final item on this list is Holden's Travel's website I designed, developed, and published. This was a long process, and it shows a mastery of all 4 of the program outcomes. Rhetorical knowledge is shown by a deep understanding of user-centered design. The entire website was built by me and was optimized to be easy to navigate and understand. The color schemes and contrasts allow the audience to read and skim unhindered. The menu is simple but navigable. Critical thinking, analysis, and research was displayed by utilizing detailed persona I built previously through interviews as the mouthpiece of the website. This gave the site a unique voice, but also ensured it was backed by a strongly built persona. The program outcome of practices and processes was met through undergoing multiple different drafts and revisions. There were a total of 10 different builds of the website before the final version was completed. All the photos that were used are licensed through Creative Commons and were able to be used for any purpose. The final mastery of the program outcome of technology is displayed through a deep understanding of web and internet architecture. The website underwent search engine optimization so that it would be more appealing to search engine. Knowledge of website architecture and SEO display a deep understanding of current and developing technologies. And on the final page is my contact information, where you'll be able to reach me. And if you have any questions or would like to reach out and discuss any of the items that was included in my portfolio, feel free to. You can reach me probably most easily at my email. And if you have anything else that you're interested in to talk about, you can reach out to me there as well. Thank you very much.